to talk to you, the regular Joes.
To movies and toys and TV shows, comics and collecting and superheroes. There's no end to the useless stuff they know. But don't call them geeks, they're just regular Joes.
Welcome to the Regular Joes Podcast. I'm Dave Pisani.
I'm Barry Kay.
And I'm Todd Pleasant.
You're missing, it's off the rails already. The pre-show is off the rails, everybody.
3 times to get through the intro. Sorry about that.
We'll get it together. This week, we've been saying it's convention season for us, and this week we're going to talk 2 conventions. New York Comic Con, that's in the past. Rhode Island Comic Con, that's in the future. And we'll talk
coming up fast
about them both. So we're all going, as we always do. If you're going to Rhode Island Comic Con, let us know. If you say, I need to go to a con, I don't know which to go to, and I'm sort of in the Northeast, go to Rhode Island Comic Con. You won't be disappointed. It's always a good time. Small, but not too small.
Very manageable. Very manageable
Big,
compared
but not too big.
compared to other East Coast cons.
Yeah, I just had that same conversation with somebody last week, and they had told me that they'd heard about it, and they've heard it's great, and I'm like, oh, everything you've heard is true, and you should definitely go.
For years, we've been trying to figure out how they get the talent that they get, and I think that's it. I think this is just a lot less intimidating for a lot of the autograph people that they can do this, and it's just not New York City.
And we'll talk about it because I went this on Friday, but New York Comic Con is not a big autograph con. And I get it. I mean, it's overwhelming, I would imagine, for these people. So we'll talk about that when we get there. But let's go some random. Todd, what do you got?
March 4th, 2025, Daredevil Born Again. It's about
that was announced.
Yeah, they finally announced the premiere date. That's awesome.
Yep. And it sounds like, I read a couple interviews with people, and it sounds like all of the do-overs and all this stuff has taken it much back towards the Daredevil we know and love. It's going to be, they said it's perhaps the darkest thing on Disney.
It sounds dark. It sounds like there'll be some salty language.
Salty language that everybody who needs to come back is back. Including Bullseye and I mean, I'm really, really excited for this.
But isn't it kind of amazing that it took all those restarts to get, like, you would have thought that's what they would have been planning all along.
Well, I think part of it, Barry, is that Disney had to evolve a little bit, and they had to get through some of the, because initially, if you're putting this like with WandaVision, you're putting this with, Falcon and Winter Soldier and stuff like this, you're kind of seeing a formula. And I think they've realized that in a post-Deadpool and Wolverine world, Disney can be other things. So
they've been through this a couple of times, though, and it's interesting to see that it keeps taking like a lot for them to get. Like, even when you look at when Disney first acquired Star Wars, the first thing they did was shut down Clone Wars because they didn't understand it, and then they realized like 5 years later how popular it was. But it took like 5 years for them to come around and realize what they had, and then they greenlit things like Ahsoka.
So let me ask you this: do you think they did that because they didn't understand what they had, or they did that because they needed Kevin Feige, because they needed Dave Filoni?
No, I think that they didn't know what they had. I think there was a period of time where Filoni didn't know where he stood with those guys, and I think that they thought the future was completely on a go-forward basis, and they were shutting down everything that was like sort of a hangover.
They also may have looked at.
Initially, I thought it was what you said, and then afterwards, when we did get the Mandalorian and stuff, I thought it was like they were like, "Oh, we're not going to use this guy in animation. We need this guy for."
No, because that was Favreau.
Star Wars
Favreau was the one
too.
that knew about Filoni and brought him in. I think Look, I don't know anything, but I got the sense that Kathleen Kennedy didn't know what to do with Dave, and he was kind of in limbo for a while. I'm not sure Dave knew he had a job.
You could stop that entire sentence, Barry, at Kathleen Kennedy didn't know what to do.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Barry, what do you got?
Godzilla -1 is coming back to movie theaters with 13 extra minutes of exclusive footage.
Really?
Yeah, I guess it's to mark the anniversary of the release of the very first Godzilla film. So they said check your local art house theaters for like when, but yeah, they're re-releasing it into theaters again with like 13 more minutes.
The 70-year anniversary? Is that what it is? Maybe?
I think it is.
Probably.
So you guys didn't see it in the theaters?
No.
Go see it. Seriously. Dave, go see that at Alamo or wherever. It's just like, I that to me is really, it's a theater movie.
I mean, I enjoyed it a lot watching it at home, but I wished I could have seen it in a theater. By the time I was ready to go, it was already out of theaters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it was a blink and you miss because it was such a surprise. But yeah, I think I would go see it again. So
yeah, that's interesting. There's some other stuff some Star Trek info that came out of New York Comic Con. So they scheduled Section 31 for January 25th.
I saw January 24th, but it's somewhere in that vicinity.
I've seen both. It's the 25th, I'm pretty sure. The other thing that's crazy is I didn't get to any panels, and you can't get to any panels because they're just impossible to get into. But there were a lot of people at all these panels. So Starfleet Academy is renewed for a second season, and it's not out until next year, which is nuts.
Yeah, but when you're filming 10 episodes, I mean, particularly with the delays they've had, just roll right into filming the next 10.
But wouldn't you want to be like, what's the reaction? What if everyone hates it? I guess they could always pull the plug and write it off, but who the hell knows? So She-Hulk, Tatiana Maslany is going to be in it as a guest star. And the Doctor is back. Robert Picardo is back as the Doctor.
Yep.
Which is interesting.
It's going to be great. I that part is going to be great.
Wait.
No, I'm saying him.
I was going to say, what?
Okay. I just finished Prodigy, and he was in that. Okay, spoiler. And it just,
Tilly's in it. Did you know Tilly's still in it?
I know. I'm just saying.
They've been downplaying
regardless
that she's
of
in it.
what else they do, if they boot him up, it's going to be great. I have huge respect for Robert Picardo and what his place in Star Trek, and this I think, like I said, will definitely benefit from him. It sounds like they've got good people attached to this. I'm trying to go in open-minded.
I just watched Broadcast News. I don't know if it'll be the same role.
Yeah. But like I said,
we'll see. There's so much you could do with this. It just don't get. We've talked about it. It doesn't need to be in the 39th century or whatever the hell it is.
I just hope
that
that they've learned something from the all the backlash from Discovery, all the backlash from the first two seasons of Picard, and maybe we'll be surprised, but I just have a feeling.
No, I feel like this is going to be the Discovery, the feelings, the whatever. So that's what they're making this.
So something tells me that we've seen in the era of Next Generation, we've seen the Federation at its apex. I think what happened preceding Picard and where we saw the issues with the Federation there, I think it's on a downward trend. I don't think there's a lot of territory, positive territory to explore between there and that next point where they come out. So I think that's what they're getting at. I think things are kind of stagnant or receding during that time. So this may just be the new era of Star Trek. And I think in some ways it's good because, you've always got this technology looks too new versus this and that. And I think we have too many eras involved. yeah, I'd love to see this happening like in the Picard era, but we'll see.
They could do it as long as they don't make it Discovery. That's not the whole.
And I think hopefully they've learned. You know, some of the same people are involved in Strange New Worlds. I got to think, like I said, they know what, you know. I'm not that they know what they're doing, but they know when something's going right.
But if they just took that and toned it down 30%, it'd be fine. Like it was just too much. You know what I mean? Like I don't mind there being a show that part of it is about relationships and feelings, as long as there's also really good action and good stories. But it was all relationships and feelings and no action and good stories.
And didn't really develop many characters.
I just read an article they were interviewing Rob Reiner, and he had talked about the Dick Van Dyke Show, which his father had produced.
Yeah.
And he was saying that Carl Reiner did something in there that basically changed sitcoms, and he said he basically
read that too.
He told his writers what's going on at what's going on at home, what's an issue
to make it real,
and I got to think like everyone involved in the production level of Discovery was probably in some really intensive therapy because they just could not come up with anything else to talk about.
But it needs to pull a little edge like from Strange New Worlds.
Yeah,
just to offset some of that. We'll see. I guess we'll see for 2 seasons sometime next year.
But let's face it, the first 2 seasons of Picard were just as bad as Discovery. So they finally got that right.
2 seasons of Discovery weren't so bad. They just got worse.
I agree. The first 2 seasons of Discovery were better.
Stuff was good.
I
know
feel
the Vulcans were too much. Not the Vulcans, the Klingons.
They needed to get into a different era than Strange New Worlds. And, I don't know how much, again, but it's just, it's doesn't work on a number of, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what they do with it.
We'll see.
One of my big concerns is when you have omnipresent technology that can do absolutely everything. It's not like, we have a transporter, we can get out of this, when they can transport it. Now everybody wears a transporter.
Maybe they don't let the students do that.
Yeah, well, but I'm saying
should everyone be allowed to do that?
Their hand weapons could just turn into anything. Like it was
just materialize. That's what I'm saying, Barry.
Too easy.
It's like how do you?
But maybe they'll dial that back for cadets.
When you're every piece of technology automatically fills every plot hole. So that's my concern. It's not so much what they're going to do with it. Is are they too far?
Smart to dial that back.
Too far advanced, and is that going to cripple some potential?
I'm also hoping that maybe they decide that they need to train their new cadets the way that they did back in the earlier
That's what I'm
eras.
saying. They do that in the Army. They don't hand M4s with laser sights and all kinds of shit to trainees.
I also feel like, Barry, have you watched Prodigy yet?
Not this season. I haven't started it yet.
Not this season. It's definitely worth watching. I just finished it. I think, like I said, I think it's very good. They ended it well. And I think there's some things from that which make me think that this could work because, there's some kind of similar cues. And we'll see. It's they've got to do something and move forward. I am more optimistic about this than I would be for yet another retooling of Discovery. So.
All right. We'll see. Barry, you got anything else?
Yeah, this was the weirdest thing I read today, but Alien Romulus is getting released on VHS in December.
I had that. I saw that.
In 4:3 aspect ratio.
Is that just not, like, why would they do that? How many people get it as a collectible?
They're going to buy it as a collectible.
Why did people buy the soundtrack to Guardians of the Galaxy on cassette?
Yeah, true.
It's the same thing.
I have a VHS
felt like a prop from the movie
player.
where this isn't a prop.
I know.
I don't think I have a cassette recorder. I have a Walkman still. I do not have a home stereo cassette. Do I? I do, actually. Never mind.
In my office, I have a device that converts VHS tapes to digital. So I will buy it and convert it to digital so I can have a digital copy in 3x4 format.
Yeah. When I read that, I also looked up the 4K on Amazon, and it is on sale. It was $50. I think it's now down to $37.
Okay, that's reasonable.
I still didn't order it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's still. I mean, I'm assuming it'll be on Disney Plus at some point. I just don't know when.
Yeah. The other thing I'll just throw in real quick, and Todd, I don't know if you saw this, but Invincible Season 3, February 6th, and they are not taking a mid-season break this time. So they're just going to go straight through. I think that's better. It was too big of a break last time.
Such a good show, such a great series, and that is the one where I would not say the comic is better because they're nearly indistinguishable.
Yeah, they really are.
To that end, Watchmen Part 2, which is an incredibly faithful adaptation from the comic, the animated Part 2 is coming out at the end of, I think, the 25th of November.
Oh, cool. So
it's good. I like it. It's good. It's an R-rated animated thing, and it's but like I said, it's panel by panel almost. So, but it also the book is written cinematically, so it translates well. So, but I'm looking forward to that.
I don't know if I mentioned this. Speaking of Alien Romulus, there's a prequel comic that it came out last week. I didn't get it. I just, I saw that. You saw it? Yep. Yeah, I want to get it just to see what it has to say. I think it's just a one-shot, one deal. I'd be curious to see what it has to say for itself.
Well, we'll be at a comic convention in 2 weeks, so you can pick one up probably.
I know. I was at one on Friday. I didn't even think to look.
Yeah.
I got Midtown Comics like 3 blocks away from me at work. So,
yeah, I download from one of the they're either Amazon or one of the others. Usually, when I have a comic that I'm curious about, it's just like I've got to go track it down. It just seems so much work now. New trailer for Strange New Worlds, or I should say a clip. It's another clip. Which picks up pretty much right where the cliffhanger comes out. It's a few minutes long, definitely interesting, and it will be good to get that back eventually.
They haven't put a date out, which is interesting. I wonder why.
I think that did they put a date out for
the Academy? No,
for the last season of Lower Decks.
Oh yeah, that's coming out soon.
Comes out.
I think it's October 24th.
This week.
I would bet you. So I bet you at the end of that they'll say that they'll throw a date out for this. So
you would have thought they would have announced it with everything else. It's got to be done by now.
Oh yeah, it's long since done. There's also a trailer for. Barry? Did you watch the trailer for that? Either of you see that?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
It's pretty funny. So
I heard it. Yeah, I didn't watch it.
They're gonna do some interesting stuff, and they always have. So
I saw they did a poster that is reminiscent of the Star Trek V poster. I'm like, of all the Star Trek movies you could pick to make a poster of.
Well, it's the 5th season.
No, I know,
awesome,
but it's just so. I thought it was
awesome, but it was just.
They
got
to get Cybok in there.
Yeah. It's they dropped a Cybok reference at one point too. They did. So, I give them a ton of credit for that. Let's see here. Have either of you heard of Teacup?
No.
I've heard the name.
On
it's
Peacock?
On Peacock, right?
Okay.
I boycott Peacock.
Okay. Anyways, Sean just mentioned that to me. Asked me if I'd seen it. He's actually given me some really good references it shows, but he said,
like Ted Lasso.
He said two words which make the show interesting to me. Yvonne Strahovski.
Okay.
So, anyways,
we like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
now that Chuck is a fascist, she's available.
Yeah, she gave up holding out hope.
She's not waiting for that Chuck reboot anymore.
Yeah,
as he said, I've commit career suicide.
There you go. You know who's awesome? I saw just the other day, Fanboy Collectibles. They had a booth at New York Comic Con. I ran into Troy. We talked for like 20 minutes. He said even on Friday, he's having a good show. Thursday happens to be a really good day. So he said he was having a good show. It seems like just a lot of work to just set up there he is. Set up the booth and everything, but he was having a good show. It's good to see him. not a ton new on the website, but I don't know if we talked about this. Hano Studios, the Wolverine,
That's
1/6
cool.
scale Wolverine.
Yeah, that looks
Did
amazing.
we talk about that? That looks awesome, and it's a good price too. It really looks good, but they got Sideshow and Hot Toys and Pops and statues and all kinds of stuff, and he had all that stuff at the show. Anything you need. There was a lot of good activity while I was there. So check all that stuff out. Check them out at their store in Newtown, Connecticut. Check them out at fanboycollectibles.com. Tell them the Regular Joe sent you. Okay. Did you just change your camera or something?
Yeah. I just
Okay.
swapped for you.
It looks different. Just so you know what's going on out there. I'll make this relatively quick. So I went to New York Comic Con Friday. Me and Mark went. We got in early just because we're able to. We saw the whole show. The one thing I will tell you, and even more so than in the past, 50% of the stuff that was there, I had no idea what it is. Like,
Yeah, that's kind of the
there's
way.
giant booths of stuff I've never heard of. It's not all anime, but it all feels like it's leaning towards anime/video games. Like massive booths of stuff like V Warriors or V something. I don't know who the hell that was. Capcom, which I've heard of, it's just a ton of stuff that's not for me.
Now,
So,
was Mark aware of some of the stuff that you weren't aware of, or not even?
he doesn't lean into that stuff. No, not really. I mean, he plays video games, but he sticks to, the basics, like the Indiana Jones and the Star Wars and that kind of stuff. He doesn't get into like
I'm not sure those are the basics anymore, but yeah.
whatever, Call of Duty, I don't know, but he doesn't lean into all that sort of anime. Not that there's anything wrong with that if that's what you're into, but it's heavy, that stuff. And it's interesting. This is not for anyone other than people who've been. We used to start on the 4500s. That's a different section now. It used to be. They've mixed up the aisles a bit, and the aisles seem wider. So anyway, we were able to get through it.
Well, that's good because it would get so crowded there that you could barely make it down some of those aisles. So wider aisles is probably not a bad thing.
Well, like I said, we got through a lot of it fairly quickly because we were in it a little early. By the time it was, we got in at 10. By the time it was noon, there were some aisles that you could not get down at all. When we walked in the middle and then went to the end. First booth I see is the Golden Auctions.
Oh, yeah?
That show we watched,
Yeah.
Barry. The dude Ryan was sitting there at the booth. And I just walked up to him like, "Oh, Ryan, I see you on TV. What's going on? What's your goal this year?" Because they had this 20 million. He goes, "It's higher than last year, but I can't really say." So he was nice. He was really chatty. He was a good dude. All the auction companies are there, although there's not. They have stuff in there. Heritage was there. Hakes was there.
Yeah, well, it's become such a big business that they've got. I guess they've got to have a presence there just to get their names out there, but.
Yeah, exactly. There feels like there's more comics there than there was 5 years ago. I feel like comic and certainly comic art. Like I think there's more than we've seen in the past.
And that was our reaction when we went to that Terrificon too. That it just seemed like it had gone back to being a little bit more about comic books, which is not a bad thing when it's called Comic Con. So.
Yeah. But this stuff, I don't have anything against it, just not for me. But there's just so much of this. But these booths are swarmed. And I got to tell you, I don't know what it is. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know if it's a video game. I don't know if it's an animated thing. I don't know what it is. But some of these crazy giant booths.
But you know what? New York Comic Con too is definitely one of those conventions like San Diego where a lot of companies make a big splash about certain things, and some of the smaller cons, like Rhode Island as an example, like those big media companies won't be there, so you don't get some of that you would get at New York or San Diego.
But what's funny is, like Marvel was there. They had the Daredevil suit on display. I took a picture of it. But no Hasbro, no Mattel. Funko was there, obviously, in a big giant booth. But there wasn't as much as there was. Like, I guess HBO may or may not have been there. I think they had the Dune Prophecy thing someplace. But like those big booths that took up the center of the, they weren't. Some of them were these other companies that I have never even heard of, which is weird. Like Capcom, which is a video game company, right? But just massive booth. This other Virechuck Media, this guy Gary had something. I don't know what it was, but they were giant booth, people all over the place. Bandai had a giant booth. But it's so funny. Some of the companies like I know, like Bandai, I'm like, oh, models and stuff. They weren't showing any of the models. They were showing all the Gundam or whatever and the anime type stuff. And then like Heroes and Villains was there. They make all those t-shirts. They didn't have any Star Wars, no Star Trek, none of that stuff. They only had one thing there, which was a little odd, but that's fine. It's funny. So I feel like, I don't know, this is all different. I don't see... Yet I bought more stuff at this show than I have like the past 5 shows. There was a company called, and I never heard of them before, Comic Sandwiches. And I sent you guys a picture. They make all these metal objects. They had a Daredevil baton set out of aluminum that was amazing. It literally connected in 2 pieces connected to one, and you could separate them, or you could separate them from a different section, and they have a steel cable in the middle of them. It was a little pricey. It was $350, but for $250, I probably would have bought it. But really nice stuff. What else? They made a ton of shields, cap shields. They made Agent Carter shield. There was a Wonder Woman shield. I guess they're some metal company. I don't know. But they really clean looking nice stuff. You should check out their website. I bought... they made... This is a steel batarang. It's like 1/8-inch steel.
Oh, wow.
And it's very sharp. $15. And it's powder coated, which was pretty awesome. They had a bunch of different batarangs. And I did buy something from them, and I'll show it to you. They had pieces of the broken shield from Endgame.
Oh, that's awesome.
You could buy Cap's shield in a bunch of variations. You could buy Cap's shield that's missing this piece. You could buy... sorry, everybody. It's about a quarter of the shield, and I'll put pictures.
He's got a
of this
crescent
there.
shape, 2 pieces.
Yeah, 2 pieces. And then they also sold little tiny pieces, if you wanted. And this is aluminum, and it comes on a stand. Sorry, I'm too far away from the mic. Comes on a stand, so it goes like that in the stand, stands up. And then there's a little plaque that says, "Pieces of Captain America's shield found in Adventure's compound wreckage."
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah, I wanted to do this to my spare shield to cut a piece out, but I never did. But this was $95.
That's not bad.
Which I think is a
awesome.
bargain.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
But meanwhile, their shields are like $600. So I don't know. Maybe these are the shields
because those are probably the
messed up and
leftovers or the rejects that they had find something to do with, which is
the
great.
bad paint ops or something like that. That's cool.
That's really cool.
I got to think about the Daredevil. The
Daredevil
Billy
batons are really, really nice. And then they had those. They had Moon Knight, whatever his sticks are.
Yep.
Truncheons. They had Nightwing sticks, but the Daredevil baton, I happened to make them in 3D, and they'd probably, but they're really nice. So, again, never heard of this company, but it was nice to find a company that sells cool stuff. So, check those guys out. ComicSandwiches.com.
Did you happen to ask if they're going to be in Rhode Island?
I did not. No.
Okay.
I've never heard of them. I don't know where they come from. I did ask if they were licensed, and the guy stopped talking. So I'm assuming they're not, but that's fine.
It could be.
What else? David Lee Roth was there. Alex Ross had a booth. And I know he had a booth somewhere else, and it may have been the last time we were there. It wasn't at Rhode Island, was it?
Don't remember.
But a bunch of art. But he also had a bunch of signed comics that I don't know if they sold them. I'm like, I want something that has Ross's autograph. So he had like 4 exclusive comics. So I got this one signed by Alex Ross. It's
nice.
Like a Batman.
Batman 3.
deal.
Yep.
Yeah, they had like 4 different comics, so that was cool. Those are the 3 things I bought, which is more than I usually buy anywhere.
That's good.
What else? There was a guy, which not for me, but Mark really thought it was cool, and he got one. There was a guy who took Xbox controllers and all PlayStation controllers, took them apart and custom painted them in different like superhero. He got a Wolverine, yellow and blue, like that looks like his costume. They did a really nice job on him. Really, really clean. So that was cool.
I got to ask you a question. Did you see
yes,
a
please.
company called Nacelle? Have you heard? Did you hear about this? Because
I did not.
Isn't this weird?
They announced at New York Comic Con a new series of Star Trek action figures, 6 to 7 inch figures, and they've made it their mission to not do the traditional characters. So they announced 8 figures. I can read off who they announced if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay,
I would have loved to have seen them.
So and they're saying that they're going to come out next year. They're going to be in the under $30 price range per figure, kind of like Black Series. They're doing Captain Jellicoe from Chain of Command. They're doing Midshipman Peter Preston from Wrath of Khan, Scotty's nephew. They're doing Valkyris from Search for Spock.
Val Kilmer.
They're doing Rachel Garrett from Yesterday's Enterprise. They're doing Tuvix.
Oh, I did see pictures of those.
Yeah, they're doing the Mirror Universe Jonathan Archer from Mirror Darkly.
Yep.
They're doing the Administrator Wei Yun from Deep Space Nine.
Yep.
And they're doing Captain Sulu from The Undiscovered Country. That's their 8 figures that they're releasing first. So they'll be out of business.
So they
by the time these
they
figures
have this thing where they're I think they're basically required to only do things that have not been.
They probably the only licensing they could get.
And so I'm trying to think of things that have just never been done. And boy, that is the list right there.
I mean, I respect doing oddball characters. I love what Exo-6 is doing, where they do a main captain and then they do a side character. But this is 8.
Yep.
Your first 8 figures are mostly figures nobody's going to care about.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, anyway.
I did put some pictures in the chat. There was a cool, what's their name? Pure Arts. They make high-end stuff. Yep. They had some cowls that were really cool. There's Neon Flash one. They had a full head sculpt of the T-1000 with the bullet hole in his head. They have a quarter scale Batman and Robin, like in costume. That was pretty sweet. Who else's booth? Oh, and Barry, I went to X Plus booth. They're making the owl from Clash of the Titans.
They're making Bubo.
And they're also making that thing with all the 4 arms or 6 arms.
That's cool.
There. They did have the new Ghostbusters with the new head sculpts. That was really,
that's interesting because they had them on display in the X Plus booth.
Yeah, I don't know if they designed them maybe, but they're not making them.
Yeah, because those are coming out from what's the name of that company? It's
Blitzway.
Not X Plus. Yeah, Blitzway.
Blitzway.
I remember one year Blitzway was sharing a booth with Bandai at one year, but yeah, Blitzway's just probably not big enough to have their own booth, but that's cool.
Yeah. What else? I'll wrap this up. I did see J.J. Walker. He was there. The cast, I guess the living cast of Good Times had a booth. It was J.J. and his sister and someone else. I don't know who any of them are. But
now, what was
then the weird thing
was the story with Vasquez and what's his name having their own booth?
So that's what I was going to mention. So like, I looked through all the autograph people, and there wasn't anyone I really would get an autograph from. But in random booths, there were people like the cast of Good Times. Vasquez and, what's his face? Drake. Mark Ralston and, what's her face?
Jeanette Goldstein.
Jeanette Goldstein were in this booth signing autographs. Thank God I have them on my poster, because if there were other people, I would have been pissed, because I didn't even know where to find that.
Yeah.
So they were a booth, and then there were wrestlers and stuff. But we did go down to the autograph area, which is a massive area downstairs, and it's set up like your traditional thing. And you know, Mark is like, "Can't we go to see Haley Atwell?" I'm like, "There's a line of like 300 people," but thankfully, she was sitting next to someone no one cared about. So we walked up that aisle, as you do, and we got like, you know, within 10 feet of her. I got a picture of her. You've seen her, so he doesn't care. But we got
of course I care. What do you mean
Same
I don't
thing.
care?
Okay,
I need to see what my girl looks like last weekend.
So we also got a picture of the girl from Fallout, whatever her name is.
Oh, Ella Purnell?
Yeah. Did the same thing. Like, you know, again, work the chaos, because there was like, I started to walk up an aisle of someone I never heard of, and a guy stops me. He's like, I just wanted to see the prices on whatever. And he starts rattling off all the prices. I'm like, that's not what I'm trying to do, but I'm like, okay, fine. So then I go to the next aisle, and no one's there. I walked right up, took a picture. So there's her with her hippie sunglasses on.
Interesting.
There's Ella Purnell. And then here, you got the picture of your buddy Ongo Boingo, whatever that guy's
Danny
name
Elfman.
is. Charging $150 for an autograph. Like, seriously? Buddy.
You know what? Nightmare Before
big
Christmas. People love Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Because he did... Yes, that's what Troy was saying. He got an autograph of Jack Skellington because he sung his voice or something. I'm like...
Yeah, he did. He performed...
I'm like,
he was the voice of Jack Skellington.
Yeah. No, he was the singing voice. Chris Sarandon was the speaking voice.
Okay.
I've never seen it, and I don't care. But that's what someone told me.
It's a fun
But
movie.
anyway... So, I told you guys before the show, we got there at 10 o'clock. By 2:30, we had seen everything. And that I thought we'd be there till
Well, you had seen everything you could see. That's the thing with New York Comic Con. There's tons you couldn't see.
There's tons you could see, but we saw all the booths. We saw the autograph area. You couldn't get into the panels, unfortunately. So everyone had the traditional autograph thing, though, but they had much longer hallways. And Elizabeth Olsen and Josh Brolin were pulling the Carrie Elways behind curtains. They were not out in the public, which was like, really?
Well, that's like also that's like the Anthony Daniels does his own room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, different than that. They were same kind of line, except there was a curtain that, you know, you could not... I guess everyone wants to smell them or her or him. They're both very smell-worthy, but couldn't get near them.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Anyway. So that was New York Comic Con. I'm not sure I'd go every year, but I was happy that I found like a new company and the Alex Ross thing, so that was good. Okay.
In an update, Comic Sandwiches also makes really cool and inexpensive Batarang replicas, including the Batman Beyond Batarang that people have made metal ones of before, but...
I said that. Weren't you paying attention?
No, but I'm saying you didn't... Okay, but I mean, they make a
They
whole
had a
line
bunch of other ones. Yeah, I didn't... Yeah,
and so I have one of those in my cart along with the Daredevil...
be careful you're getting the metal ones because they are selling acrylic ones.
No,
too.
I know. I've seen...
If you want acrylic ones, I know a guy.
I've seen both, but really
this
cool
one is
stuff
sharp.
here.
Every single
They
thing is
go
sharp.
deep on this. They go really. We got to see about maybe getting them to be on the show.
I don't know where they're from.
Yeah, they go deep on the shields.
Very deep.
All the Cap variants. Red
But
Guardian
like really
shield.
good, even like media. They had good media. Like everything was really clean. Not one of these booths that's like you don't know what the hell they're doing. Very well set up.
Like the guys that sell
Everyone was
swords and
really
lightsabers.
knowledgeable.
Those booths are awful usually.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although there were like two big saber. There was two big saber things. One had a giant booth. Sabers are huge. I guess
they heard
all
Lucasfilm wasn't going to be
know.
there, so.
Yeah,
You get that.
exactly.
There's actually when you throw in Wonder Woman and Taskmaster and Captain Carter, there's a lot of different shields. So
Yeah.
that's cool.
They're really nicely done too, but the fragment's the best bargain.
That is cool. I'm thinking on that. So I have some.
Oh, and Hero Fight was there too. I didn't get a chance to talk to him, but he was there too. Anyway, let's shift gears since we're going long on this. So Rhode Island Comic Con. I don't condone this personally, but we
No, of course not.
In a purely comedic way, we always like to talk about who we're interested in seeing, who we may want to get an autograph of, and who it's just not maybe for us. And for whatever reason, we've titled this Autograph, Smell, and Pass.
Well, you know why we...
Now, I know last year's show we put the clip in. I don't think we'll do it this year because Karen Gillan stopped by and she smelled lovely, and we're like, oh, and now it's like, oh, I would smell them.
It's become a
Man or
purely
woman?
comedic thing. It's not meant to be offensive.
This for some reason has evolved because when I first started, because I don't collect autographs, but when I first started going with you guys would have the list of the people you wanted autographs and the people you just wanted to look at.
Yeah, just check out.
And now that's kind of
I'd smell them.
and now that's kind of evolved into who you'd like to smell. So,
But we did establish last year, and I seriously don't remember who said I could still smell it.
I said I can still
You
smell
said.
her. Yes,
I don't. Yeah, we always we thought for years.
Yeah,
it
for
was
years
me.
we just
But
assumed
not
it
you
was
came-
Dave.
because it's more a Dave thing. She came and she leaned over. She and said hi and left her perfume behind.
Yeah, she was lovely.
She was lovely.
Anyway, so we're going to go through the list and tell you the people we're interested in. Who we're interested in maybe
Yeah, the
getting
people we
an
want to meet,
autograph,
the people we want to just take a look at, and then the people...
smell, and the people we don't care about. And honestly, we're going to... Nothing's wrong with these people. There's a ton of people we have no clue who they are. We're not even going to name them.
Well, and we've talked
there
about it
will be
off the air.
Very few.
They seem to be
passes.
leaning into voice actors quite a bit, which is awesome for people that are into that. Most of them are
Awesome.
things that we're a little too old to have been that interested in. So most of the voice actors
we'll-
kind of just go past me. But that's
Yes.
neither here nor there. Okay, I'm going to roll down the list here. There's somebody...
So, okay, just so you know, if you're listening to this show and you're going to be a celebrity guest, I'm making air quotes, and we don't name you, it's just because we don't know who you are. And no offense.
Why don't we scroll down until there's somebody that you're interested in the interest of...
Well, we're doing that.
Yeah,
we're doing
yeah.
that.
And by
Okay.
the way, if you are a
So, Barry-
celebrity guest and you're listening to this, and we don't mention you, but you'd like to come to the lobby of the what hotel do we go to?
Omni Providence, the lovely
on
Omni Providence.
Friday or Saturday
We'll be there
night?
Saturday night.
We'll be there. Come down and be on the show.
We'll be there. I'd love to talk to you, hear all about you.
Yep.
It's nothing against you. We just don't watch and see everything. So anyway.
All right. I would I would smell Amanda Rigetti. I would take a sniff of that.
I don't know who that is, but she seems smell worthy.
Okay.
Alex McKenna, too. She's in Red Dead Redemption. She's smell worthy.
Yep.
Okay.
Ashley Eckstein. I know that
but
her
yes.
autograph
I
price
cannot
is high.
afford to smell Ashley Eckstein.
I would smell her. I cannot afford. I'm not paying $125.
I am
for her
considering
autograph.
paying that because I do have a Clone Wars poster that the
I-
entire cast is
I
going to
do
be at
too.
this show.
Yeah.
Wait, she's been at a lot of shows we've been.
I've never
She
gotten
has-
her
You've never
autograph.
gotten her autograph?
No. I never had a reason.
You should have
to.
got it when it was $50.
I know, but I have a
Okay.
Clone
There
Wars
are
movie
there are
poster.
two
so.
people that I'm going to get on a poster on a picture together that are less than she is total.
No,
Okay, let's
agreed.
keep
I
going.
think that the price is too high, so I am considering it.
Yeah.
Ashley Greene from the Twilight Saga.
Smell.
Yep, totally.
Smeller.
Brian Austin Green.
Neil
just going
Diamond.
down the green list. No, I'm kidding. He is there.
Okay, yeah.
No, I have Brian Austin Green on my smell list. I'd like to check that guy
Yeah, I
out.
bet you he's got a nice cologne.
You know, honestly, and I never really watched 90210. He seems that he grew up into like sort of a badass dude. I liked him in. Wait, he was in what show? He was in an interesting show. Oh, he was in the Sarah Connor Chronicles. He was actually pretty good in that.
So be prepared to cut this part
I'll
out,
smell
Dave.
him.
But I would smell his fingers because he was married to
I
Megan
know.
Fox for a while.
I have that joke for someone else. I'm leaving that in.
You can cut that out if you
That's
like.
a new category.
I'm okay if you leave it in. Charisma Carpenter
Keep
from
going.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yes,
Todd.
I was going to say the first one on my list, and
Smeller. She's been at a lot of shows. You going to get her autograph?
I actually would see if Evan would want that because, like, Buffy was a big thing for him, and we could start something. But okay. I'll say yes. I want to get within smell range. So
Okay.
Charlie Slater. I forgot that dude was there. I don't care.
All right, my next one would
going.
be D. Bradley Baker. Definitely want to get his autograph. He plays all the clone troopers in everything, in Rebels and in Clone Wars, and he plays all the characters in The Bad Batch.
All right,
well,
I'm
you
gonna
could
back
really
up.
just fill out the whole Clone Wars thing with this show.
Well, that's why I'm
signing
saying
everybody?
if I'm going to get the rest of them who are all fairly reasonably priced, I kind of feel like I need to get Ashley Eckstein as well. Which,
Yep.
But then I could knock
Yep.
the whole thing out in one shot. So
I will smell Chris Klein.
okay,
He's in The Flash. I've taken a picture with Christopher Lloyd.
Okay.
yeah.
This guy Cole Sprouse, was he the kid on Friends? Was he Ross's son on Friends? I think that was the name. Not that I'm just curious. I have never seen him at a show.
I don't know.
Okay, never mind.
I don't know.
It's
Possible.
possible.
Since we've created wait, where's this? You've missed a whole bunch of people.
Well, I was skipping to the ones I
Since
cared
we have
about.
a new
Dave.
category, I'll definitely smell David Arquette's hands.
Okay.
He was married to Courtney Cox.
Yep.
It's horrible.
Okay. Moving right along.
Keep going.
I'm trying to find the next person I care about. Now we've all met Ernie Hudson.
Yes. Yeah.
Have a
Yes,
picture with
we've
him.
met him.
So
Yeah. A
Well,
fine
there's a
man.
lot of people we're
No need
bypassing.
to. No need for any sort of a factory.
Giancarlo, we've seen before.
Yep, yeah, I
but
met him at-
his autograph's $80. That's pretty reasonable.
I gotta say, for everything that he's done, that is very reasonable, and
when you adjust for how absurdly expensive all autographs has gotten for, yes, I agree with you. But I remember the last Rhode Island I went to, he was right next to Carl Weathers, and I got Giancarlo and felt that his price was really reasonable, and we all know how I felt about Greed Karga.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Carl Weathers.
Yeah.
Okay, Helen Hunt.
Apollo Greed.
Apollo Greed. Helen Hunt.
I would smell Helen Hunt.
Yeah. I mean, classic actress.
I just don't know what she's done that makes her go to a Comic Con. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
Who's that?
she is doing a Twister Q&A and screening of the movie in a local
that's
cinema.
what it is.
I think that's really what they're playing off of at this point.
But that's the thing. I don't think Twister is nearly the best thing she's done. I mean, I think as good as it gets with Jack Nicholson, which is actually really good.
Yeah, and even Mad
was
About
funny.
You. I mean, but when you think about it, like, she's been in enough things that some of these people aren't genre.
Hey,
They're not
Swiss
all genre.
Family Robinson. When she was 12.
was.
So
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
yeah.
I'm not going to try to pronounce her.
Ivana Trump?
Well, I was just going to say, I'm going to not going to
that's
try
not
to
Iva-
pronounce her real name, but she's played Shin Hati in Ahsoka. Also believe her
Too much money for
autograph
an
is too
autograph.
expensive for somebody who's been in
Yeah.
like one hit series. James Arnold Taylor played Obi-Wan Kenobi in all the animated Star Wars stuff. Gonna get him on that Clone Wars poster.
That's not cheap either.
No, he's not cheap, but it's okay. So our friend of the show who unfortunately passed away, David Jason Frank, the Power Ranger, His daughter's going to be there, Jenna Frank.
His daughter's here, yeah.
And she's on the list right next to Jennifer Morrison, who is definitely somebody I would consider
Smell-worthy.
smelling.
I'd smell John Cleese just to
Me
take a look
too.
at him.
Well, I mean, why not?
Wasn't he there? Was he there last year?
I don't know. I wasn't there last year.
I feel like he's been somewhere we've been.
Maybe.
Anyway.
Who else? What do we got
Moving right
next?
along.
Jonathan Frakes. Who doesn't want to take a good whiff of
I
Jonathan
would consider getting his autograph.
Yeah.
I don't think I did. It's super reasonable. I think he's on my autograph list.
Why not? You know, and
John Berthal, I've met.
That is really reasonable. So
yeah, me too. I think so. If I didn't have him already, I would definitely be getting him.
I don't think I have him. I got to check my book.
And what's funny is, I know I've said this to you guys year after year, like anytime Shatner's at a show that I'm at, I will get him to sign something. I feel like I'm going to finally break that rule this year just because I have like a bunch of his autographs and he has jacked his price up to a point where it's not just like a...
It's a lot. The only thing I'm considering is if I make a plaque for the Tomy Enterprise and have him sign that. I'm going to make it anyway.
And then make a decision.
And I'll decide later.
All right, getting back to the list. Katie Sackhoff. Have her autograph already?
That's a lot.
But yeah, I think that her prices have gotten off the chart.
I thought I don't remember if I have her autograph. I know I saw her at a show with Trisha Helfer.
Well, here's the weird thing.
I may not have.
She's doing another show that was like more of a Battlestar thing, and her autograph was a lot less than this. And that's like that show is happening like around the same time. So I don't know if it's just a show by show thing, and maybe some of these prices are high because of the promoter. I have no idea. I'm just speculating, but
yeah,
and maybe because this is more of a Star Wars crowd. I don't know. It doesn't make sense.
But I mean, her autograph is somewhere between $100 and $140, depending what type of item you ask her to sign.
That's a lot.
Seems like a lot.
I hope I have her. If I don't, I'm not getting her.
All right, Leah Thompson.
I will always smell Leah Thompson. It's so funny because I would get her autograph even though I'm not getting Michael J. Fox. I follow her on Instagram. I think she's interesting. She's a director. I actually like her.
I want to have her sign something from Howard the Duck. I'm not sure what yet, but so
That'd be cool.
there you go. I'm gonna have her sign something from the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yep.
I'm gonna have her sign
She's been in
something
a lot
from oh god, what was that movie she did with Andrew Dice Clay?
Oh my, Ford Fairlane.
No, not Fort Fairlane.
Wow.
Anyway, it'll come back to me.
Casual Sex.
Casual Sex. Yes, thank you.
I don't know why I know her whole.
Yes.
Apparently so.
He's the man from the East. He's the wild and crazy beast.
Dave.
He's the Vin Man. But
Yep.
that was Andrew Dice Clay's line.
I
from
like
the movie.
her though. Not that there's no reason not to like her. All right, moving right along. Does anyone need Lee Majors?
I want to get both of them. I want to have
he's
I want to have
charging
them
a lot.
sign something together. I don't. It's yeah. I mean,
The problem is, and I printed my own picture. They didn't have them together.
Yeah, I remember
but
that. And
I
got him to sign an action figure.
I found
and I don't have an action figure of her that I would have signed. So I don't know if I would get a photo of her knowing that on him I have an action figure.
But I have the two of them. Remember in the episode where she becomes a bionic woman and they're in their two jogging outfits and they're running? I printed that. It's not. I could not find a high res print unless you can. Maybe.
Do you have the file?
I have the file. I'll send it to you.
Send it to me.
And I had them sign both of them when we were at whatever.
Yeah,
con.
it was a show here on Long Island. That was, I think,
send it to
Eternal
you,
Con.
but anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I got them both, and she complained that he signed too big.
So yeah, you might want to
You
get
see
her
sign
first.
giant on it.
Get her first, so she can pick her spot on the photo. All right,
but you want both of
moving
them.
right along. Mario Lopez. Anybody? No. Okay.
I don't have a problem with him. I'll look at him.
Sure.
There's that podcast kid from Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah,
$40.
Yeah,
It's a bargain.
I skipped him. Yeah. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah.
We've got Mary Oyoya, who was a Jedi in Attack of the Clones. I think, you know what, $50 for an autograph, I would probably pass. But she's only charging $20 for a selfie. I think that's really reasonable.
That's pretty good.
All right, Mary
Louise Parker.
Mary Louise
too.
Parker.
Absolutely.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Hands down. Yes.
Definitely.
You're going to get her autograph?
And if she's wearing that outfit, I'd pay double. So
she's only charging $50. That's pretty good.
I think that's really good.
I love her. She's awesome in everything.
She's always good. Yeah. Agreed. All right, Matt Lanter. He
Is it wrong to get Matt Lanter to sign a Timeless photo?
No. But he completes the
Yes, I
Clone
don't
Wars
care about-
quadrilogy. So
He does. Yes.
if you get the four of them, that's like everything. Okay.
Oh, is this Neville Longbottom?
It is Neville Longbottom. Yes.
I only knew that because there was a Harry Potter on the other day that I happened to catch the end of, and he was on it. I guess it was the last one when Voldemort's trying to kill everybody.
Isn't that all of them?
There you go.
When you really think about it. All right, McKenna Grace.
Well, we never really saw Voldemort in the first book.
No, but you knew he was.
I would get McKenna Grace. Her autograph's reasonable. I think she's fantastic in the new Ghostbusters. I do feel creepy being an old man getting a young girl's autograph, but she's really good. It's not because I think she's just really doing the franchise.
Yep.
You're a fan,
justice.
so I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Mina Savari recently added to the list. Not a big fan of the American Pie movies, but I am a big fan of American Beauty. It's a good movie, which is kind of you can't watch it anymore because
she's
of
got a
Kevin
reasonable
Spacey.
price. Yeah.
Michael Dorn. Gotta love Michael Dorn.
I don't think I have his autograph. I'd get him for $60.
See, I have him too because I have the Generations poster. I got the whole cast to sign it. But yeah, you know the generation the Next Generation cast is actually, other than Patrick Stewart, pretty reasonable to get all of their autographs like on a cast photo.
They've stuck with the $60 Star Trek. Let's all be the same price,
which I respect. Okay, Michael J. Fox would be amazing, but
no getting near him.
Yeah,
probably
not.
But I mean, you could really do him and Christopher Lloyd on a poster and be done with it, and then add in a couple other people. And we had this discussion, right?
Yes.
Who do you add? Who's third?
Leah Thompson is third.
That you add. Is she, though? But if, in the world of everyone in the movie, is Crispin Glover really the third person you get on that poster?
No, it's her.
I think it's her, and then I think it's.
She's got a lot more. She has a lot more screen time. Than he does.
I agree with I think that's true, but if he's the fourth person, you're not getting him. So where do you go with that?
You go to Biff because Biff is the other main.
No, but to me, you have Biff and Leah Thompson, and the other two, you're missing him. So do you instead just go Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd?
And here's how you solve that problem, Dave. You go with the Back to the Future 2 poster, and you don't have to worry about Crispin Glover.
I don't really like Back to the Future 2.
That's my favorite Back to the
Back
Future
to the
movie.
Future
so.
1. Okay. But I'm not spending $500, $600 to get... I like Back to the Future. It's not in my top 10
No,
franchises.
I hear you. Okay.
Anyway, I'll smell them, though.
Michelle Ang, who I'm considering getting an autograph from because she also... If you get her and D. Bradley Baker, that's the entire cast of The Bad Batch right there. So,
okay,
considering that.
I don't know who Michaela Jill Murphy or Jessie Flower is. I'll smell her, though, but I don't know. Is that her real name or her stage name? Or
I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, she looks cute in the picture.
She looks like the girl who's playing Lois Lane. Doesn't she look like that Rachel Brosnahan?
A little bit, yeah.
She kind of does, yeah.
There you go.
All right, Patty Guggenheim.
Don't even know who she is.
Yeah, you do. She was in
She-Hulk.
She was in She-Hulk, yeah.
Yep.
She played what's her name?
She-Hulk?
No, she played
God, what was her name?
I don't even know her. I don't recognize her.
She was the one that was hanging out with Wong.
Wong. What the hell is her name?
It was something. It was a regular name
Madison.
spelled weird.
Was it
Madison?
Yeah, I think it was Madison.
Yeah.
Anyone getting her autograph?
I'm not, but I just like.
I hope people do get her autograph. I think that's awesome, and it's very affordable.
Are you wasting time when you could be getting Dogpool's autograph?
Okay, so
first convention.
I don't care to smell the dog. I need to be close enough to know how the dog is signing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
$55
dog is signing autographs.
$55 for a
if you're
dog's
getting like a
autograph.
paw print, if you're getting like a paw print,
honestly, to me, that's animal cruelty. If they're going to push this dog's paw in ink and put it on something 150 times a day,
all right, but would you consider a $35 selfie with Dogpool?
I would go for the $60 pro photo.
But I would want to be far enough. I want to be far from that tongue. That's all.
Yeah.
I don't think there should be subjecting this dog to this much stuff.
I think we're going to have to go by that table and check it out, though.
Oh, we're definitely going by that table. But I don't feel there. I hope he's not being over. Like, a dog doesn't want to be doing this.
Probably not.
Freaking Patty Guggenheim has got no choice.
Yeah. Okay,
she does have a choice.
Moving down the list, Priscilla Presley.
Yeah,
that's from the WTF category.
Wasn't she there last year too?
There? Was she?
I remember her being on the list.
May have been.
She's had a rough year, so
I guess.
Anyway, I'll take a look at her.
Rose McGowan just scares me, so I'm skipping Rose McGowan because she just scares me. All right.
Ross Marquand.
Sam Witwer. Here's a dilemma that I have, and I want you guys to tell me what you think.
We're tight with Sam Witwer.
No, I know we are. I have the Battlestar Galactica Last Supper poster signed by most of the cast. Do I add Sam Witwer to that? He was only in like 6 episodes.
Is he pictured?
He's not pictured.
Is he pictured?
He's not pictured.
Then no.
Then don't have him sign it.
Yeah. But
you have anyone who's not pictured?
I have one or two other people that are not pictured, and they've signed it.
You should erase those people.
Yeah, I don't know. I was on the fence because I was thinking about that, and then I'm like, I don't know. Maybe
get him on your Clone Wars poster. You probably have him on it already.
He wasn't really in Clone Wars.
Why does it say Star Wars: The Clone Wars?
He was in like a couple of episodes. He did the voice of Darth Maul, but he wasn't in that. He wasn't in the movie.
Have him sign your solo poster.
Yeah, no. My solo poster's perfect the way it is.
Yeah, no.
I was making fun of you that you even would have a solo poster, but you do.
My
have
solo
it, right?
poster is signed by the guy that played Han Solo and the guy that played Chewbacca. It's done. Unless I can get Amelia Clark.
What about Woody Harrelson?
I was going to say,
if I could get Woody, Woody doesn't sign autographs.
Clark and yeah.
See, exactly the Back to the Future dilemma.
Yeah, but if I could get Amelia Clark, I would
kind of
ask
feel
her
like
for
somebody
a
else significant is missing from that poster. All
right, let's keep moving.
All right,
Soleil Moon Frye.
Absolutely,
got to see Punky Brewster.
She's grown up.
Yeah. Now I don't know anything about Spencer Grammer, but looks cute in the picture. She's apparently a voice actress. Okay.
Steve Guttenberg. He was there last year, wasn't he?
Steve Guttenberg? How did I miss him?
Was he?
Oh, look. Yeah, there's Steve Guttenberg. 3 Men and a Little Lady.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of Police Academy people.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah. Stephen Bauer. You got to get him to sign a Scarface. Well, you could actually get Al Pacino's, but it's expensive.
He was great in Ray Donovan. Stephen Bauer.
He was. Yep.
All right. Do we smell Tara Reid or do we not want to smell Tara Reid?
I've smelled Tara Reid, and I have a picture with her.
That's true. I remember that
she
picture.
was at a industry event.
Okay, Tatiana Maslany.
Todd?
I very possibly will get an autograph.
Especially now that we know she's in Star Trek.
Cheap. But she's not out of control. She's okay.
Also,
she's been good in everything we've ever seen her in.
I'm going to get like 3 autographs. You guys are going to get like...
I don't even know if I'm getting 3. I have almost no one.
I know.
Well, Michael Dorn, and I may get 3 or 4. I'm not getting a ton.
All right, this one I'm just calling him out. Tom O'Connell, why do you put a picture of Darth Vader? Okay, you were a stunt performer in a suit for Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're not Darth Vader. Sorry.
Another mannequin Skywalker is what you're saying?
Yeah.
You fooled me once with that Spencer guy. You're not fooling me a second time.
Hey, Spencer went out of his way to talk to
He
you on
did.
the phone.
I know he did, but
and you're bad
You
him?
couldn't bother to show up, but Spencer did.
Okay, but did he
And
show
you
up
talked
on the
to him.
set of
He's
Rogue
like-
One?
I'm like-
I'm not sure. Yeah, he's on my
Talk to our
poster.
friend Barry. He's like, where is he? He's on the phone.
Yeah, I don't know. I got
He was
him
a
on my
good-
Rogue
he
One
was a good
poster,
sport.
and I'm not sure he was actually even on the set. So, but whatever.
Okay. Anyway.
All right, Tori Spelling.
Moving right along.
Tori Spelling? Anyone?
Yeah, she's never been at a show that we've seen.
She has had, I think, too much plastic surgery, but we'll
Way too
have to
much.
get a look and see.
That could
see.
be entirely natural. I'm just saying.
It could be.
Yeah. Just saying.
I don't know which planet you're talking about, but it could be.
Tom Wilson has got the correct priced autograph.
Tom Wilson I may have him sign my sports almanac. I'm bringing it just in case. It's gonna be a game day.
It's not an
game-
original. It's
No,
not one
God,
of the 50 originals that went for $30,000.
No, but I
is it?
think it was printed from the same place.
Yeah,
That,
exactly.
that would be a cool thing to have him sign.
Yeah.
That would be.
And then I don't necessarily need the rest of the cast on that. Like, to me, that's Biff's book. So bringing it with
Yeah,
me.
I think that's a good move.
Yeah.
And then
I
have him
wonder if-
sign it,
wait.
then roll it up, put it in his back pocket, and you just take it from
Yeah,
him.
exactly.
I wonder if his price is he's got a 1680. I wonder if it's a sports almanac. It's 80.
Yeah, I have a feeling it is.
It could be that.
This variable pricing thing is like, it just leaves
Yeah.
room for them to just charge more money because they get to say, oh no, that's a collectible. That's not an 8x10 photo. So I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, no disrespect to Bill Shatner. He can charge whatever he wants. I just have so many of his autographs already.
It's a lot though. 120 is a lot.
Yeah.
But
And this Yvonne Chapman from Avatar: The Last Airbender, I think that's a reasonably priced autograph, $40, and she looks very, very
someone I've
cute.
never heard of.
Yeah.
Now let's just talk for a half a minute
see.
about all the unable to attends, right?
So now let me
Ray
ask you this.
Park?
Can't you put anyone in there? Okay. Can't you say that, I don't know,
Bill Clinton can't attend.
anybody that you... Yeah. It's like, unfortunately, Patrick Stewart can't attend. Unfortunately...
No, but the funny thing is, this
it's like-
poor Yvonne Chapman, the rest of her Last Airbender people, there's 3 of them that bail.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, no, there's 4.
4 of them.
There's 4
Yep.
that bail. Guess what? They're filming a new season,
and her
you're not in
character's
it.
probably
You're
not, in it.
it.
But, we had talked about Hayden Panettiere being there. She canceled. Heather Graham
Oh, yeah.
Canceled.
I didn't realize that.
and Ray Park.
Oh,
I was actually
Save
going
the
to
cheerleader.
I was going to get Ray Park to sign my Darth Maul lightsaber box, but he canceled.
Oh, that's too bad. Laurie Metcalf, too. I didn't know why she was
And
in
then
there.
the principal from Back to the Future canceled.
Yeah, if you wanted... This was a pretty good collection of people, and this guy's kind of screwing it up for you.
But he's probably of all of them the
Hayden
least important.
Panettiere, she hasn't done anything.
I
was interested
I
to see her.
don't want to say that
she had a series that just wrapped.
No,
right?
I'm saying show-wise. I haven't seen
Oh,
her
But
at
I
shows.
don't know if it's true, and I'm not saying it's true. I did read a headline that she might be going back to rehab, and that might be why she's not.
That's
yeah.
too bad. I was hoping she sort of got her shit
Yeah.
together, but we don't know. If
I don't know if that's true. I just saw
But
a
anyway.
headline, and I'm not making any accusations. I read that somewhere, and I don't know if it's true. But anyway, it's a great lineup of guests.
I wonder. Always a great line. I wonder how hard Michael J. Fox will actually be to get.
Oh, I think it's going to be mayhem to
To
get
Sniff
him.
or
Yeah, all right. If I cared more, I would do it, but it would be cool to have the 2 of them. But it's a lot. It's a lot of time and a lot of money.
It is. It could occupy
Anyway.
your entire weekend at the convention just trying to get that.
Yeah.
But I also read, I think, that a couple of them were only supposed to be there Saturday and Sunday, and I think a few of them have extended to Friday now. So, and Michael J. Fox was going to be there all 3 days, but I think Christopher Lloyd and somebody else are now going to be there all 3 days. So,
Oh, interesting. Philadelphia Comic Con, me, Mark, and my brother got a picture with Christopher Lloyd. We did one of the things we did, like, let's just get a picture with somebody that wasn't too expensive and was easy to get, and he was great. He was really fun. He was nice to talk to. And he did it in front of the car.
Oh, that's even better.
So that was different. Yeah. Anyway, all right, we've gone on long enough. So that's the lineup. If there's anyone you want to autograph or see or smell, make your way to Rhode Island. You won't be disappointed.
So, Dave, I'm just going to jump in for like 2 seconds, but I just wanted to say, Daryl told us about this place last year, I think, but I was just up in upstate New York this past weekend, and I went to the Strong National Museum of Play that Daryl told us about. It's in Rochester. Daryl told us it was amazing, and he did not lie. This place is unbelievable. It's kind of like the Star Trek set tour. It's in a place where you probably wouldn't go there just to go to this museum, but if you're anywhere near Rochester, you have to check this place out. It's really unbelievable. It's almost 300,000 square feet. The place was so big. Every time we finished an exhibit hall, I thought I was at the end. There was another exhibit hall with even more cool stuff. But they've got the Toy Hall of Fame there. They've got the World Video Game Hall of Fame there. They've got an enormous collection of toys and games and everything to do with playing. So they had a whole room of pinball machines, and they had a whole section on action figures and a whole section on Dungeons and Dragons. They had a Dungeons and Dragons exhibit with like original artwork and all these cool various different eras of Dungeons and Dragons. The place was amazing. We spent a lot of time there and had a great time. So highly recommend it. If you're in the Rochester area, you should check this place out.
Cool. That sounds awesome. How far was it from where you were?
It was about an hour and a half from my son's college. But,
okay.
We went up there to visit him for the weekend, and we didn't really have anything planned. So we sort of headed over there and spent like 4 hours at the museum, and it was great. And they have an exhibit that has every video game console ever made, like one of everyone. And then they've got an Atari set up that you would have gone into a store, and it's like the display with every Atari game and the console and all the brochure. Like, they've got so much stuff. They even had the E.T. game that was dug up from that Atari burial site. They've got one like in a bag that still has the dirt on it and everything. The place was great.
Oh, really? I thought they didn't find.
No, they found it, and this one is directly out of that archaeological dig to get the Atari, the E.T. games.
Oh, that's funny.
So the place was great. I mean, I couldn't recommend it more. So
that's awesome.
It was cool.
Good. All right, we've done next week. I think we're going to do something to do with Halloween, because next week is the week of Halloween. So stay tuned for that. And thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.